Hi, Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. Stopping by to do some general readings as we have a look at the zodiac. We've got some big energies playing out, and I wanted to do some general readings from the perspectives of the zodiac. And starting off with Cancer and having a look at a bit of a general reading from the perspective of Cancer and see what's going on. So let's have a look, and how we'll do these readings is we're going to look at the universal forces playing out and a crossing energy. We're going to look at the grounding energy and a crossing energy. We're going to look, sorry about that, we're going to look at the soul space and the crossing energy, and we're going to look at a likely outcome and the crossing energy, and then we're going to choose the card that is the central theme for the reading. Look at that amazing energy coming through as the theme for the reading. Underneath the deck, we're looking at the Ace of Cups. So the force coming up from the bottom of the deck. So it's kind of like the crossing. These are like the bookends, right? So transformation with the energy of the Ace of Cups coming through from the bottom of the deck. Now, the general energy of the reading then is what we're looking at is a space of transformation. But what we want to talk about, Cancer, is how very, very specific the magician energy is. You know, it's not, I can tell you all day long that we're going to turn lead into gold, but you will not turn lead into gold if you do not have all the elements playing in place properly. Now, what we've got coming up from the bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups, suggesting that we've got work to do on this element, the Cups energy, in having energy flow in a really healthy way to be able to alchemize all the elements to completely transform your current experience. If we're truly going to move your experience from lead into gold, you need all of the elements playing out just so. So if we're going to push from underneath the deck is that Cups, we're going to have a look at how that is impacting the reading across the board. So with those energies in mind, transformation with regards to the energy of the Ace of Cups, which I would describe as new love, self-love, and divine love. And transforming how that plays out in your life. Now, the push from the universe, look at this, is like the energy is like, it's a very charitable energy from the universe, or from into that push from that 5D space going, it really wants to bring you into some level of charity or some level of giving around what energy. The energy we've got crossing it is the star. So the overriding energy of the star is definitely hope. So what we're doing in seeing this energy is having more, how do I want to structure this properly? It's like the universe is giving more signs and synchronicities, more opportunities for us to grow in the aspect of hope. So when you need to grow in an aspect like a grace such as faith, hope, or love, the way to grow through it is that you actually have the reverse scenario playing out. So sometimes you have to sit in a space that is absolutely hopeless for you to understand what it is to actually grow in the grace of hope. And Spirit is saying they're going to continue to pour down the kind of lessons that would see you rise up in the energy of hope. Now we're reading that with the idea that Spirit wants to transform around this energy of new love, self-love, and divine love, and going that we want to fill this cup. So what is it that we've been feeling hopeless about, Cancer? Have we been feeling like we just don't have life flowing in the direction of our dreams? Because this is what's coming through in the 5D space. Let's have a look down at the grounding energy now. We've not been able to balance. If we're going, because we're asking the question of what do we need to bring in, we want something to transform, we want something to, with that push from the Ace of Cups, and what we've got is the Temperance card and the Queen of Cups. So have you been feeling wildly out of balance? Have you been feeling like you've been giving more than you've been receiving? And if the energy is we have to learn to grow in hope, we're going, what is there to be hopeful about when you feel like you are constantly emptying your cup for other people? The Queen of Cups really does represent your energy, Cancer, in being so giving, and by and large you're one of the most pure of hearts signs that is there of the zodiac. You know how to nurture, you know how to care, you know how to swim deeply in emotion without moving into a space where it's toxic. Queen of Cups is the most pure version of love that one person can feel for another. And look at this, the push from the universe is to transform how you're holding that Ace of Cups, how you're holding that cup. Are you just giving way too much than what you're getting back? And then the push is to ground a more balancing energy in the way that you're moving through this Ace of Cups energy if you're holding it as the Queen of Cups. So, this is showing up in a very, very physical way. This is in your day-to-day life going, what is it that you're giving way too much on and not receiving enough of? And I would suspect that there's a new version of love coming into this scenario to transform it, to be able to bring it into some level of balance. What's going on in your soul space? We've got a Tower and we've got a Five of Swords. Excuse me, red with the energy of the Magician. Tower is this energy of feeling like things have to fall down before they're able to be rebuilt, isn't it? So what's going on in your soul space, Cancer, that you feel like everything's falling down around your ears? It's like communication is not viable at the moment, or if you feel like you have a victory, it comes at a cost. It's like if I communicate my truth, I feel like everything else falls down around me. And what I really want to be able to do is transform my situation and to be able to allow the Tower to move me into a new energy where I'm, when all the bricks fall down on the ground, I want to feel like it wasn't in vain. I want to feel like the conversations and the processes and the ideas and the ideals stood for something. I want to feel like there's a level of victory taking place in my soul that goes that all of this work that I'm doing, all of the hurt, all of the pain, all of the suffering, all of the feeling like I'm losing, anything like I'm feeling trapped or out of luck or life isn't flowing, I want to feel like I've had some level of victory with the communication that I've had. And if it means that I have to cut something or someone out of the scenario and it makes it feel like everything is falling over, I'm going to do it, because essentially I want to transform the situation and I want to rebirth a new energy of love into that soul space. What have we got as the likely outcome here? Isn't this a power energy? We're looking at the King of Swords and the Emperor here, transforming from a Queen of Cups that wants to balance, that's fighting for hope, that wants to have a level of transformation where your cup is the scenario that wants to feel like it needs to balance. So you have an energy where your love of self is healthy, love of others is healthy, and like your connection to the divine is healthy. But look how we come through. It's a very different energy. The likely outcome is that you want to lead, like you want to speak, you want to be out in front of people, and you want to be taking action, and you want to be, like, when I say taking action, you want to be taking action on nurturing and moving people forward. This Emperor energy is a really strong, proud, protective energy, and with the King of Swords as the counterpart there, as well, the King of Swords is the energy, and the Emperor is the crossing card, essentially, or the supporting energy, going that the words that you want to use and the action that you want to take is likely to end up with you having success. And look, you've got that energy here with the Five of Swords as well. So the reason that Spirit wants you to have hope is because essentially the Magician says that this situation will transform if you put all the right elements together. So you've got to be able to work with the swords, the pentacles, the cups, and the wands. If you just focus on one aspect of this scenario, the likely situation is you won't transform it. Yes, your soul has got the energy where things are falling over, but communicate what feels like it's falling over. Communicate where you feel like life is stuck. Work the problem. Don't just sit in the energy. Work the problem. Go, what is it that I want to say that feels like my truth that needs to be heard? How does my truth birth hope when Spirit is saying to me they really want to keep showing me that the situation is not hopeless? Here, they want to keep giving you energy that says your situation is not hopeless. But for it to transform, you're going to need to have all of the elements working together. The Magician cannot turn lead into gold without the exact alchemical process playing out just so. It's not like they just click their fingers and go, oh, it was lead, now it's gold. You've got to work the process. And the likely outcome here is saying that Cancer, you will absolutely work the process. Let's put another level of energy over that and see what we want to do. Let's leave our Magician and our Ace of Cups there as the reference points for our reading and go, well, let's get some clarifying energies. Six of Pentacles and the Star. Why is it here, Spirit? What do you want to tell Cancer about how you're going to continue to direct them in having hope in their scenario? Ooh, walking away from a challenging situation. And we've got, oh, conflicting schools of thought. Yeah, that would continue to reinforce that idea. So in Spirit's going to continue to show you the parts of the scenario that you need to leave behind, that you need to move away from. And sometimes it's going to feel like hope is hard to find, like you can't see what the scenario is. But with the Six of Pentacles and saying that Spirit's going to keep putting signs and synchronicities in front of you, you're going to know when it's time to pack up your bongos and move on. You're going to know what to put in your boat. You're going to know what causes you trouble. You're going to know what causes you peace. And in having those scenarios of conflicting information and being able to rely on the universe to continue to give you hope, you're going to understand what the nature of the star is and when the universe, how the universe will guide someone even when you've got conflicting information and you can't see where you're going or what you're doing. The universe will continue to put the stones out in front of you. You just got to keep stepping on them. Why is Temperance and the Queen of Cups here? Why do we have Temperance and the Queen of Cups? Temperance and the Queen of Cups. Temperance, we've got time to lay down our burden, and the Queen of Cups, we have got Justice. Oh boy, Cancer, this is a beautiful reading for you. Temperance, time to lay down the burden. And this is what I was alluding to in the first part of the reading, is going, how much are you giving out of yourself and not getting anything back? How often does it feel like you just empty your cup for everybody else around you and it just feels like it's become, you know, enough already, that you need to feel like you have balance in the scenario? Because look at this, honestly, look, our Justice card, where we're swinging our sword of truth and we're getting clarity and understanding, absolutely. But look what else is being held in this scenario. We've got the Scales. Here we've got the Temperance card. That's a repeated message as far as I'm concerned. So for you to be able to bring the energy forward of transformation, if we want this Magician to bring forth new love when we're connected to self-love, romantic love, divine love, if we want that full cup to exist in our world and to truly get what we deserve out of the situation, to get it to transform, we have to lay down a burden of some description. Now, up in this energy, Spirit is saying to us, I'm going to show you what it is that you need to release. And even though it's going to feel like conflicting information at times and you feel like you're walking blindly forward, I'm going to show you in your 3D physical world what it is that you actually need to release. And when you do, Cancer, when you do that, you'll come into balance. The Queen of Cups is the most pure love that somebody can offer. But you know what happens? It comes back to you, the scales balance. You've got balancing happening twice. On the laying down of the burden, stop emptying your cup for people, Cancer. Stop doing it. It's just not on anymore. You've got to cut away any kind of rot that says that you do not deserve to have your cup equally as full as anybody else in your scenario. That does not make you less of a person if you ask for balance in the scenario. You can't just keep giving and giving and giving and giving and giving and emptying all of you out and not having anything in return and feel like you are well and good and capable and able to chase down the things that you want to in life. And I feel like, Cancer, you've got opportunities coming for you, but like they just will not birth. You know, hope is hard to have when you're buried under burdens. But Spirit is going, lay down your burden. Trust us to show you how to take the burden away so we can transform the situation and bring new energy, new love, new life into your scenario. Why is the Tower here in our soul space? Why do we have the Tower and the Five of Swords in our soul space, Spirit? Give us some clarifying energies on why these energies are here. Why do we have the Tower in our soul space? Ooh, righto, we've got the Strength card and we've got the Hanged Man. Okay, so in the soul space, you know, what I'm going to suggest is that for the longest time, you know, it feels like every time that you've built up a tower, and this would relate to this energy too that's playing out in your 3D world, that somebody comes and kicks it over. And so it's like every time you transform a situation and build yourself up, there's this feeling of needing to go, you know, I really need to protect what I've built, because every time I build it up, I knock it over, and I have to go about, see this energy here, my victory always comes with a level of collateral damage. And over here, I'm going to call it, I'm bored of having to recover from people, right? This is the hangman. I'm putting myself in time out because I'm bored with these sequence of events. I'm tired of having to have strength every time somebody comes and knocks my scenario over. I'm tired of having to show the world how strong I am, how capable I am. Why can't that just be an accepted notion that Cancer has so much to give? So much to give. Why isn't it allowed to be that Cancer's allowed to build a tower and sit in that tower knowing that it's a safe stronghold? It just feels to me like you've never been really able to have a safe stronghold, and every time you build it, there's been this energy of somebody comes and knocks it over. But here, in fighting for what you want out of this scenario, there is going to be, you know, it might be really, really difficult conversations that you find yourself having. And it's going to be, you feel like you have this sense of a victory, but there's a level of collateral damage. And you go, I'm really, really bored. That's the word I want to use. I'm bored with having to continually pour out this energy on people who've kicked down my tower and I have to recover from. I want to transform this situation and move into a place where, you know, where lead turns into gold. And when I rebuild my tower, that it's something I can pour my love into. I want to be able to love my life, love my scenario, love what I do, and not constantly have to sit in a place of strength or feeling like I have to recover from other people's actions. What have we got down here in a likely outcome? Why is the King of Swords and the Emperor here? Spirit, what have we got? Well, let's have a look. Why have we got the King of Swords and the Emperor with our Magician and our Ace of Cups in the middle? What are our likely outcomes? Let's have a look. We've got the Page of Wands, and we've got, see, I'm not kidding about that, right? Am I? Like, it feels like you really just want to go after your passions right now. King of Swords is definitely going to be the one who leads the way. He's the leader of the party, right? That wants to develop into an emperor. The emperor has all of the aspects of all of the kings, whereas the King of Swords is the communicator, the leader, the ideas man. So, and then you put the Page of Wands over the top of that energy, and you've got passion, which is, you know, you don't just want to run on passion alone because you'll run out of that stuff. You need to have solid ideas behind it. It needs to have structure. The King of Swords will put that structure behind the Page of Wands and the Emperor, and then look at the crossing energy on the Emperor. Remember, I talked about the Emperor being a very protective energy. It's almost father-like. Well, it can be described as being like a father energy, protecting over the family home and over the family unit, protecting over everything that you've built, right? You want, in your soul space, you're going, I'm tired of having to be strong. I want to be the emperor over my kingdom and not have anybody knock it over again. And the likely outcome is that you'll have all of the ideas and all the passion that you need to be able to become the emperor of your kingdom and bring towards you everything that you want. I love the Four of Wands. It has this 11-11 structure out the front. It has the happy couple. It has the stable home, supportive family. It has a wreath of abundance. It has a beautiful energy. And to put an emperor over the Four of Wands, this is stability. Stability 101. And is there anything that Cancerians love more than stability? So what we've got in a real-time way, what's showing up in your 3D world is justice for the Queen of Cups. After she lays down her burdens and comes into balance, she fights the good fight and she doesn't let people take advantage of her. Then we're able to put in a really great structure. We believe in ourselves. We go after what we want. We have passion behind what we do. The likely outcome being that we become the emperor over our kingdom. Let's put one more layer of energy over that. And see how we're going to read directly over the Ace of Cups over the Ace of Cups over these energies and see if we can't get one final clarification. Reading with the Ace of Cups, reading with the new love energy that wants to birth. Can you just give us one more message, Spirit, for our Cancerians? It's going to be useful in moving them forward in these energies. What have we got? The Devil card comes in the soul space. We have Justice in reverse. I'm not going to read reversals in this particular reading. I don't know why this deck, I keep straightening all up and I'm still managing to have them half up, half down. You know what? Let's do what Spirit says. Justice in reverse. And we're talking about the Ace of Cups energy over the top of this reading. And let's see what we've got. We've got the Ten of Cups over there in the soul space and the likely outcome. The Queen of Swords. Looky. That's a really interesting read, right? We've got the Devil as the push from the universe, right? Which is really, really interesting because you have a bit of a dichotomy playing out here anyway. You've got the star energy, right? And look, the Devil in this reading has a star behind them. And I think what's going to play out for you, Cancer, particularly when it comes to, we're asking about the energy of the Ace of Cups that wants to rise up. The Devil energy says, I need you to have hope in a situation that feels hopeless. Right, and I started the reading out with this energy. I'm not looking at the Devil energy as being a force of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I'm seeing it as the opposing force for what we had as the star. So you've got two voices. You've got the Devil and the angel, and it's going. When the Ace of Cups comes around, I get the feeling it's going to be very, very hard to trust that a transformation has truly occurred when it comes to love for you, and that you're going to go, I don't know if I can trust the Devil. Spirit's asking you to have hope and to follow the divine voice, but it's going, the Devil is more the worldly energy, and this is a voice from the universe. So you're going, I've never been able to trust this scenario before. Every time that I've sat in this energy, well, this is an interesting way to read it, isn't it? Because when we sat in the energy of the star, which is trusting the divine and following the divine voice, we had the Justice card show up in the upright. Now, when we succumb to the energy of the Devil, which is mistrust and feeling like we can't be vulnerable when new love comes upon us, we take our blessing away. Do you see how that's kind of playing out? If we have two versions of events being on offer, and one of them is to hold the energy of hope really purely and bring in justice for ourselves, and then we go, well, the other sword that we bring through is to succumb to the energies of the Devil, which in this scenario I'm seeing more as I'm just seeing it as feeling hopeless. I'm not seeing it as the sex, drugs, rock and roll energy. I'm just seeing it hope versus hopelessness when it comes to birthing a new love scenario. So we're just looking at the Ace of Cups energy because, the Magician is definitely, we want to transform the situation. The element that we need to transform is our connection to love, or the cups. And here Spirit is saying, I want you to sit in the energy of hope and keep listening to the divine. But the opposing force that comes through with our Two of Swords is the Devil, or a feeling of hopelessness. If you succumb to an energy of hopelessness, guess what? You're either going to have justice following hope, or hopelessness will lead you again to be in a cycle of feeling like you can't birth this Ace of Cups energy, which then would not birth the Magician energy. So that's a lot to take in, isn't it? And hope is one of those graces that we need to master in listening to the divine and being hopeful that it will birth better circumstances for us. What's in the soul space? This is really, really interesting, because before we're saying we want these transformations to happen, right? And we want to hold in our soul space, our cups runneth over. And how I picked up this energy was going, I'm bored from having to recover from having my tower knocked down, and do I have the resources to build it all back up? Your soul's screaming at me when I lean into this energy. It's going, I don't know if I've got what it takes to allow hope to refill my cups, transform my situation, and rebuild this, because I do not want to have to recover from someone kicking it over again. That's a lot to ask me to. You want me to rebuild this after I've just been through a tower, and I'm telling you it took all of my resources to have a victory in this scenario, and now I really do not want to be in this fight again. I don't even know if I want to rebuild it for somebody to knock over. I don't know if I want the Ace of Cups to come through. But what is the likely outcome? To me, that is a question. I'm bored of recovering. I've rebuilt my tower. I'm bored of recovering. I don't know if I want hope to come through. Queen of Swords says the likely outcome is you will cut away any of the rubbish. The Queen of Swords will choose the correct sword in this scenario, because she wants to partner with her King of Swords. The Queen of Swords and the King of Swords together are a mighty team. They are a power couple. And this is not, what do they want to build? This is what you've got to be super wary of. If this reading was sitting under a different influence, it could be a different story. But these two want to build a scenario that's built on self-love, divine love, and connection with each other. So the King and Queen of Swords are healthy communicators, and they don't tolerate crap from each other. They cut away rubbish, and they get very, very focused on what it is that they want to achieve. What do these two want to achieve? They want to live their life with passion, and they want to build an empire together where family is solid, stable, and abundant. They want to rule over their kingdom without any more toxicity, any more threats, any more feeling like anyone can come along and knock over this scenario. So essentially, let's put a bit of a prediction in here and going, where is this energy headed? So Cancer, the time has come for you to really step into your own, broaden your horizons, think about what you want, and transform your life. New love is on the cards for you. New love for yourself, new love for... Now, if you're already in a love connection, you use it, adjust the energy to suit. Going, what is it that you want to birth an Ace of Cups on? Do you need to love yourself more? Do you need to love life more? What is it? Do you want to love the divine more? What is this Ace of Cups for you? It's going to represent differently for different Cancerians. If it's a new relationship that you want to birth, you need to be factoring in, what do you want that to look like, right? And we're going, it's trusting, having hope that the situations from the past won't hinder you or won't set you up to have your tower knocked over again. The likely outcome is, if you can transform this scenario, you'll find your match. We've got a beautiful match here with our King and Queen of Swords. So what we want to be doing is looking to draw in new love towards us and go, who is the King of Swords to my Queen of Swords, and what do we want to build together? We want to live our lives on purpose and with passion. We want to rule over our kingdom with abundance and feel this is a happy ever after energy. Like it, Cancer, blessings want to come your way. But I'm not going to lie to you and say that you haven't got work to do. This stuff doesn't come to you automatically. There is challenges in place. The magician is not an automatic lead to gold. The magician is saying, you've got your Ace of Cups. Is that your Ace of Cups is not correct? The cup in this scenario is not correct in order for me to transform your situation, right? There's still a level of toxicity in this scenario, because you need to be able to choose, are you hopeful or hopeless? And nobody can give that to you. You've got to work that scenario and go, am I hopeful or am I hopeless? Do I want justice, or do I want to feel like I don't even want to get in the fight anymore? That's your core. Free will is such a powerful force, and to lay the burdens down that you've been through is a big ask. You've had your tower knocked over so many times that you go to have the strength to build it up again is going, I don't know if I sit in that energy. I don't know if I want to build something that someone can come and knock over again. I'm bored with the fight. I'm tired of having to fight. I'm tired of having to argue my case. I don't want to have to convince anybody to stand by my side and love me and support me and cherish me. I don't want to have to stand there with a gun at somebody's head and go, love me. Love me. Do not knock over my scenario. Just respect it. support me, work with me, grow with me, because I want to be in charge of my scenario. I want a king to my queen. I want to live my life on purpose with no bullshit in the mix, because at the end of the day, we want to rule a kingdom together. We want to feel safe, we want to feel secure, and we want to feel abundant. And it's well past due that this is on the cards for you, Cancer. Well past due. Let's just draw, just to wrap up this reading, let's just draw an oracle card that is a bit of a, to wrap it all up. An oracle card with relation to the Magician and the Ace of Cups. What have you got to tell us, Divine? There is no need to fear. Isn't that beautiful, Cancer? There's no need to fear. See, my eyes are so bad. Remember how powerful you are. This is what we're talking about. Let's get into this energy. Let's get in the energy of hope, the energy of the star. Continue to follow the divine. You hear that voice out loud, and you have done this before. You are strong, you are capable, and you can, you get through these towers. You've been knocked over and you've rebuilt, and it's made you so strong and so capable. And I know you're tired of having to be that person. I know all you want to do is have this 10 of Cups. Every time you build it, you just don't need to have it knocked down. You don't want to have to argue your point for why it exists for you. Now, what this is saying is choose hope, Cancer. There's no need to fear. That you can rebuild your scenario, and your Ace of Cups, your new love, whether it's a new person, whether it's new self-esteem, or new connection to the divine, that new love is going to rise up and help you build your scenario where nobody's going to knock it down for you again. Remember who you are. Remember how powerful you are. You've been through the mill. You've learnt a lot. You will rise again. You will stand up in hope, and you will be the emperor ruling over your safe, stable, loving scenario. Cancer, this is a big reading for you. If it resonates, and we've been able to help give clarity on your scenario, that absolutely makes my day. So wrapping up this reading, I'm going to say, in faith, hope, and love, it's bye from me for now.